Hey y'all, welcome back. I am Jasmine Jones. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and this is Black Girl, a Therapist in the Wild. So I've been gone for a while. As you can see, there's a new layout and stuff. I felt like I needed to take a little break. Like I had like a million videos. Felt like I guess I just needed to take a minute away and think through, what do I want to talk about on, YouTube and having my own channel and stuff like that. So I've been trying to revamp. As you can see, I'm in my favorite PJs today. Time for bed, getting ready, and I have a new friend. Her name is Poofs. She's a kitty cat. She's amazing. And so today I guess I will be talking about boundaries and how to say no. So stay tuned. So when thinking about boundaries, we first have to recognize why it's difficult for people to set boundaries. So some of the difficulties behind setting boundaries: I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to make them feel bad. They have goodness inside of their heart. I just have to keep giving them things and letting them know that I'm there for them 24/7 so that they will continue to, grow and prosper with my help. What other reasons are there for setting boundaries? What other reasons are there for not setting boundaries, I should say? Well, let me think. A fear of getting in trouble. A fear of doing something wrong or being seen as something wrong. And the one thing that all of these fears have in common is it's all based on what someone else thinks or how someone else feels. It's never based on yourself. So when you don't set boundaries, then you're always focused on everybody else. Screw yourself. Who cares about me? Who cares about my feelings? They don't matter. Only the other people's feelings matter, not mine. And you run through this anxiety-fueled roller coaster in our minds until we drive ourselves crazy doing so much for others and completely forgetting about ourselves. So the first step in setting boundaries is figuring out, what do you want for yourself? How do you want to be treated? What would make you happy? And everybody has those fantasies about how they want to be treated, whether they're romantic fantasies, they're fantasies about friendships, their fantasies. Everybody has at one point in their life, maybe there's some outliers, I don't know, but I figure that, most people have had a fantasy about how they want to be treated by some special person, okay? So when you think of those fantasies, what is the predominant behaviors that you see in these people and how they're treating you? So is it kindness? Is it loyalty? Is it honesty? Is it, a good listener? Respect, a mutual respect for each other. I don't know. What is your, boundaries in your fantasies? Like, I'm not going to fantasize about somebody that calls me out of my name. I'm going to fantasize about somebody that makes me feel good inside and, validates who I know I already am. So when we think of boundaries in real life, that is what we have to think of. Who validates who I already am? And I don't mean like who I already am as this person that gives too much to people that don't deserve it. I mean, who I want to be. What are all of my positive, aspects, and who validates those positive things in me? Like my kindness, my good listening skills, my leadership skills, my funniness, all of those positive things about you that you already are, but you keep cultivating these negative people in your life that make you forget about it, or you overgive it to the point where you don't see it as a gift. And that's something that's important as well. Your kindness and what you give to people are gifts. They are not something to just be given lightly. They're to be given to people that deserve them. So when we put up boundaries, we are saying, I am not giving this gift of my kindness and my loyalty and my love to you because you haven't earned it. You haven't shown me that you deserve it. You've actually shown me the opposite. Now, in general, I mean, we're going to be kind to everybody when we first meet them, but I'm not talking about first meeting. I'm talking about those situations that you know that you're in, that people have, that this person, whoever the person is being, is putting you down, making you feel bad about yourself, calling you out of your name, derogatory, disrespectful, manipulative, all those things. So at that point, you already know who this person is. But yet, it's so difficult to put up boundaries, to say no, to not give your gifts, your kindness, your love, your happiness to this person all the time. You have to recognize that your gift does not change people. If I got a laptop, that's nice, but it's not going to integrally change who I am inside and make me be this amazing person. I could use the laptop and use my amazing skills that I already have to create something interesting on the laptop, but it's a laptop. That's nice. It's not going to change me. So why do you think you constantly giving your positivity to somebody is going to automatically change who they are without them doing any actual work on themselves? Why do you think it's going to make them do work on themselves for you to constantly give? So you have to see it that way. That's one thing if you're a coach and the kids want to be there, or you're a therapist, like I am, therapist, and clients want to come and see me, but that still takes initiative because the kids have to join the team. The client has to come into my office. For people that have poor boundaries, no one has to come to them. They sometimes will go to that person and, hey, want to be friends, want to date, want to do this. Let me keep trying to make this person like me, Or the person can be an abusive person or a manipulative person and seek out people that they can tell have low boundaries and use that and manipulate. So it's a back and forth situation, People only change when they want to change. That is the takeaway. People only change when they are ready to go and make that change for themselves, not because you gave them, something, So now we're going to talk about what boundaries look like and what you have to be prepared to do in order to set boundaries. So, what do boundaries look like? Saying no. Sometimes it helps to say no, to practice saying no. You can practice saying no in the mirror. You can take your phone, you can record yourself saying no, and then look at yourself. Look at your tone of voice as you were saying it. No, no, no. Am I saying this with a mean tone of voice? Is the person that I did stand up to, right, and I have an attitude? And then you can look at it back and be like, no, I'm saying it in the nicest way possible. Something to be prepared for. To somebody that no is triggering to, it doesn't matter how nice you say it. They're still going to be mad. They're still going to be upset. They're still going to try to manipulate you out of saying no. They're still going to have a problem with it. So recognizing that it's not about the other people, it's about yourself. So first and foremost, be able to say no if you don't want to do it. If you're too tired, if you're too overwhelmed, if you had a bad day, if you're sick, if you don't want to do something, don't do it. Something that can help you ease into saying no, a no with a compromise. I think I've talked about this in a previous video, but that was like in January. And I feel like this newness now, because I got this new couch. I love it. It's like the Big Comfy Couch. Remember that show, The Big Comfy Couch? That was such a good show. I like kid shows. Yes, I do. So, I'm going to just redo some of this stuff and say it again. So there you go. So you can say no with a compromise. No, I can't do this, but here's a referral. No, I'm not going to be able to make it in time, but Jack can make it, so maybe you can ask Jack to help you with that, and then I'll come along later, and if there is anything left, I can help. Or, no, I can't babysit your kids, but let's look up some babysitters. We can look it up together because I'm going to be on vacation that day, or I'm going to be at a business meeting that day, or it might just be because you don't want to. It's okay if you don't want to babysit somebody's kids. That's perfectly fine. But maybe you don't want to tell them that you don't want to. Maybe you just don't want to give them a simple no. Maybe you just want to give a no with a compromise, you know? But you have to be open and upfront with your no's, whether it's a no, a solid no, or a no with a compromise. Because what can happen is, especially if you're dealing with somebody who's constantly asking you for stuff, constantly putting you down, you know, oh, well, they'll start going into that whole manipulative spiel. Oh, well, you're not a good friend, and see, I do all this, that, and the other for you, and blah, blah. And it's like, it's still going to be a no. Sometimes taking a deep breath, guiding your way through that no, breathing through their manipulative talk. I like to use mindfulness with that. Focusing on something to the side of them while they're talking. Looking at all of the detail in that thing you're looking at. If you're looking at the walls, some curtains, find something to count. I have these mindfulness cards that I use with clients, and one of them says, find your favorite color wherever you're at. So basically, while they're going on their manipulative spiel, you are finding your favorite color. My favorite color is blue. This couch is indigo, but it looks kind of navy. I keep bringing up the couch because I just love it. I love this couch. It's horrible. But anyways, you're looking for all the blue in the room. You are not paying attention to them. So you can use mindfulness. And I can make a video going a little bit more into mindfulness. I love using it. It's amazing. But basically, you are moving through their manipulative waves calmly on your boat of mindfulness, not paying attention to them, paying attention to something to the side of them. But they're not aware of that because it kind of looks like you're looking at them. And, you know, waiting for them to get done. Or you can walk away, you know. If you are that strong in your emotional stability, walk away from the situation. Like, I'm not listening to this. I have to go. I don't have time for it. If somebody is just manipulative and mean all the time, so it's not necessarily about saying no. It's about just dealing with the fact that they are very manipulative and mean and, you know, not a good person to be around. If you can get those people out of your life, first and foremost, you have to recognize that they're manipulative and mean, calling you names, you know, gaslighting you, confusing you, things like that. You have to first and foremost, talk to them. If you haven't talked to them, talk to them. Like, I don't like it when you do this. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like you're not my real friend and I really care about you. So I want to know, is there something going on? Is there something I can help you with? Because I notice that you seem upset a lot. If that doesn't work, if they continue to do the thing that makes you feel upset, if they continue to manipulate you, then you have to distance yourself from them. It is what it is. You have to distance yourself from them. If you cannot distance yourself from them, setting firm boundaries by not entertaining, like, let's say it is a situation where there's co-parenting, you know, I'm here to drop my child off. It is your day. I'm not entertaining your questions. I'm not entertaining a conversation. I'm not entertaining your negativity. Bye. You don't have to say those things. You can just totally, what I like to call is gray rock. A lot of people on YouTube talk about it when they're discussing narcissists and manipulative people. So basically, flat affect, monotone voice. Okay. Yes. Boring. Just boring as a gray rock, and get up out of there. You know, I'm not going to entertain arguments. You know, if it's somebody at work, you can use the gray rock technique, like, yes, okay. So you're not giving them the emotional expression that they're looking for. A lot of times people that are manipulative want you to give them an emotional outburst. It's why they keep needling at you and poking you and prodding you and things like that. The goal is, I'm going to step back and say, I have to go to work right now. I will see you later. Not giving into it. Not talking about whatever they're talking about. Not giving into their negativity. Very flat. And it takes a lot. You know, use meditation to kind of quiet your mind. Because the goal is, My glasses all greasy. The goal is, I think, to clean them. Oh. The goal is to make it so that they can't, you are unflappable. That's a term I heard I think I read it in a book or heard in a movie, I don't know. But basically you're unflappable, you're unmovable. You cannot be moved emotionally. And then when you go home, you can vent and cuss your supervisor out to your friends, get all of that emotion out. You're still going to take the time to address the emotion, but when you are in the workplace, you have set your firm boundary. You do only the things that they're asking you to do that is work related, and then you don't respond to the rest, the negative. I call it the rest. Okay, all of this extra emotion that you're sending my way, that's yours. You can keep that. And it feels good because I notice, it makes me smile because I notice that when I do that to folks that are like manipulative and don't like my boundaries, that they just get madder and madder, like it's a temper tantrum starting to build up, but they can't have a temper tantrum because they're at work. So it's kind of like they're just sitting there stewing in all of their like angst and anger, and I'm just sitting here chilling with my boundaries, looking at them like, and I just realized you need me more than I need you. And it's so hilarious because they need to get that off because they don't know how to deal with their emotions otherwise. A lot of times people that are manipulative and that cross other people's boundaries, they don't know how to deal with their emotions. So that's why they do it. So what happens is you start to realize they need you to get their emotions out, and it just becomes funny because you don't give it to them, and then they start acting all like they don't know what to do. And it's so hilarious to watch, but it's none of my business. That's not my business. That's your business. That's not my business. And that's how you start to feel. So when it's at work, it becomes like easier to deal with work because you're not giving those negative people what they want because you set firm boundaries there. At home, if you're co-parenting, you've set firm boundaries with the other parent. Like I'm not entertaining any of this. With your friends, they know that you have boundaries now too, and there are things that you will and won't do, and you will gladly say what you will and will not do in the nicest way possible. I try to say it in the calmest, nicest way possible. So even if they do try to come back to me and be like, you're mean, you're a bitch, blah, 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 I said it as nice as I could, that I couldn't go to this thing. I offered to help you find someone else to go with you, but since you're being like that, I have to go, So, yeah, that's boundaries. That's the video for today. I hope that it was helpful. Hope you liked it. And as Tino says in The Weekenders, later days.